Open Campus. So Open Campus have a really kind of aspirational goal. I actually really like this as a concept. Um, Basically trying to give the power back to education in some way, like whether it's to directly to parents, whether it's that students can start looking around and actually learning things a little more useful in this day and age. Partnered with some good names as well. I think the goal is enormous. So if they can achieve even a fraction of what they aim, I think this can do quite well. So I want to take a look at really what their concept is and how and what I can potentially do in price. Before I get into any of it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, it shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. Now in the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these cryptos. They were coins that I expect were going to make me a lot of money. You can see what they were worth when I recorded the videos. You can also see the highs that they all hit in under a year and a half. And these are what your profits would have been if you'd have put $100 into these coins when I released the videos and sold after around 15, 16 months. And your total profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. Now, obviously you don't have a year and a half to sort your portfolios out. We're in a bull cycle right now. By the time this goes out, it's highly likely Bitcoin has tried to break a new all-time high, if not successfully done that. And altcoins are going to get ready to rip. If you're holding cryptos you're not confident in, you got to do something about it now, because if you're holding them and you're not confident, it's because they're not going to make you any cash. If that's you, get onto copymycrypto.com, just have a look through the site. That's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. So whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any coin, I tell my members the coin that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at. So my members can copy along exactly. So they'll make the same profit as me without any work at all. On the site, you can see what my members have earned. You can read their testimonials. You can see the success stories. You can also verify it all because it's all public record. And if after reading it all, you like what you see, guys, try out the service. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. Now, Open Campus. So yeah, as a concept, I like this, right? So it's a decentralized solution for educators, for content creators, for parents, for students and co-publishers that's designed to address major challenges in education today. So despite the critical role of educators in shaping the future generation, they are often undervalued and underpaid. Additionally, parents frequently lack control over their child's educational content. At its core, the Open Campus Protocol is a community-driven initiative. Aim is to harness blockchain tech to create a fairer education system. The premise is that by decentralizing the creation and distribution of educational content, it allows students to access a more diverse educational content range. And the ultimate goal of them is to revolutionize the US's $5 trillion education industry by returning control to educators and learners themselves. The token plays a key role in the whole ecosystem. It facilitates the forms of collaboration. It incentivizes high quality content creation. It promotes the long-term growth of the protocol. It's designed with educators and learners at the forefront. That's the whole premise. It was designed as a pioneering sort of goal within the education sector by, where is it? Is that just the same? No, that's no. Where is it? There's. Sorry, clicked the wrong thing. So it's founded by a diverse group of founders, including Alex G, Jack Chorowski, Yogev Shelley, Jay Varkey, Yat Sui Siu, and Oren Albez. Each founder brings a unique set of skills and visions to the project, united by the common goal of, addressing the pressing challenges facing the education sector. And the reality is that the education sector is a mess. It is absolutely a mess. We have stopped so much true teaching in education. Now it's a syllabus-based thing. You have, just in English alone, so much of the important content of English, particularly the English language, was removed from syllabuses, particularly in the UK. I can't speak of America in that regard. In terms of mathematics, very little of what you actually taught ever actually enables you to use any of it in real life. How often are you going to truly use the quadratic equation as an adult? Just never. Also, when you actually look at the disparity between And I can talk about this from the UK perspective, but if you look at private schools versus public schools, the difference in what's taught is substantial. So for example, in private education, the schools that you're paying a lot of money per year for, and it obviously depends because there's a scale to everything. There's good private schools that teach a lot of the shit private schools that don't do so well, right? Or certainly don't teach as well. They all do very well because they pick their students very carefully based on not only what they can achieve, but also how much money the parents have. But, that was a bit of a tangent, but they teach very different skills. One of the things that is taught in a number of private schools that I'm aware of is things like scan reading, which leads to speed reading. So a number of people that I know that went to private school, as an example, can speed read at an incredible rate. And it's through learning the methodology to do that from a very young age. A lot of private schools taught Latin. Now, Latin is the foundation for learning a lot of other languages. So the ability for a lot of people that went to private school early doors from a young age and were taught Latin are able to pick up multiple languages at a far, far greater rate than your average person. Critical thinking is something that has gone from public school syllabuses across the country. No one knows even how to ask a question anymore. And that's actually a really important thing. If you cannot come to knowledge if you are not able to ask a question. If you're not able to figure out what question to ask even. So this is where I actually really like this as a concept in terms of if you can readdress the imbalance of what is taught. Potentially there's an enormous appeal here. I'm a parent. If I saw stuff on here that I was very keen for my son to learn, I would absolutely get him on board here. There's just no question. There are certain areas of education that are lacking. In fact, fundamentally, I think the majority of areas of education are lacking. And they don't promote skills that are vital as adults. They also don't promote a cultural interest of any description. The arts are dying on their arse in the UK, as an example, being passed over for the sciences, and that's not a good thing either. So something like Open Campus, I love the goal. And maybe I'm not talking too much about the tech here. Maybe I'm not talking too much about what's been done so far. But in terms of what they're trying to achieve, I can only respect this. I like this a lot. Daily transactions based on the EduChain testnet is around apparently 2 million per day. The most recent day, that is. But even then, if they're hovering north of a couple 100,000, that is outstanding. That means this is actually, their testnet is doing something pretty damn good. So that, in and of itself, very, very good sign. In terms of products, you've got the Publisher NFT, which provides the library. So this is the catalog of things that you can actually begin learning. It's effectively through this methodology that you can begin. So as you can see, an array of different languages there. Languages I kind of expected would be the starting point, to be fair, and it's something that a lot of people are open to. But yeah, so you've got the Publisher NFT, and then you've got the Open Campus ID. That's what you've got to use to sort of access everything. It's been a well-considered approach here. They're building EduChain. The Edu token is obviously the native gas token and the governance token. The Open Campus ID is the on-chain learning profiles that store the educational credentials that are minted using the Edu token. And then, of course, as I've just said, you've got Publisher NFTs. So these are the tokenized educational course content, which is minted through the Edu token. I actually, like I say, I like this, man. I hope they have success here. Fundamentally, an enormous, staggering, just ridiculous gap in terms of what educational material people have access to now. Anyone that has ever worked or been around a school in the UK, if you just went through schooling, you know how much it is lacking in terms of finding a good teacher. And there are good teachers around, but also the syllabus, the things that they are being asked to teach are shit. And they're not in control of that. That's government hand-me-downs. I guarantee you, if you talk to the teachers that you know, if you watch this and you know teachers, and you ask them, what would you like to teach that you're not allowed to teach? They would be able to reel off a ton of things. If you were to ask them what's valuable that you teach, they'd be able to tell you very little. This is the way our world is right now, rated to Open Campus as a goal. I hope they have success. Can they have success? Now that's a big goddamn question, because fundamentally you're asking to try and revamp a system that is got immense amounts of government impact, that's got immense amounts of government involvement. It's got immense amounts of money involved. You're also asking to try and get parents to start taking a look at something that they're completely unfamiliar with in blockchain tech. You're asking them to be proactive in their child's education. That's actually not that common, despite what people say. And, you might see a couple bits and pieces on the news. I'm sure you'll see the occasional parent going, I don't want my kid to learn about something to do with sex education. That I see quite often, particularly in America. But I certainly don't see anyone go, community forums, or I don't know what they call, like town hall meetings in America, where I see parents going, well, actually, with regards, it's always religion based that people seem to have objections around. But in terms of actual syllabus content, how many people, I don't think I've ever seen a parent go, I would really like if you stopped teaching the quadratic equation and spending a lifetime on factorization, quadratic equation, completing the square. There is no use to that. How about you teach money management? How about you teach budgeting? How about you teach a skill set that can be used for my child? So, getting parents involved is the job here. I hope they can do this. This is going to require immensely well-considered marketing, immensely well-considered strategy. Advertise. You've got to incentivize the learners to participate. You've got to excite the parents to encourage their kids to use it. There's a lot here. But you can absolutely get adult learners. Adult learners will be interested, especially if there's incentives. But if you can get the kids involved, that's where the money is. Now, are they going to be involved? Big question. Open Campus has done okay so far since launch, right? Price hasn't exactly dumped dramatically or anything. It's on Binance. It isn't on Coinbase. And if it was to land on Coinbase, it gets a nice bounce. I think there is a world Open Campus can get to $4 or $5 this year. But that is going to depend dramatically on the uptake of them. And I'll be watching carefully for their advertising campaigns, their marketing campaigns. How do they grow their user base? How is their course content growing? Because if they can do things right, they can onboard good educators, good content creators that can create good courses of value. And if you can onboard parents, this could have success, and God willing it does, because Jesus Christ, does the education sector need a complete revamp. Best case scenario, I think here's $5. The only way it could achieve more, the only way with that is a Coinbase listing, which I think right now is highly improbable. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I know I've kind of ended up ranting more about education necessarily than I have about the Open Campus. Blockchain, and how the system works, whether it's the Open Campus ID or how they create the NFT content, the content through an NFT minting process through the EDU token. I know I didn't do a deep dive into the tech, but fundamentally, what are your thoughts on this as a project? What do you want to see out of the project? Is there anything where you would go, I'd love to see this content on the site? Because actually, again, if there is particular content that a lot of people are clamoring for, that would be useful for the team to know, gives them a better chance of getting good content creators, good educators that can create those courses that people have interest in. So share in the comments down below. And guys, look, we are in a bull cycle right now. If you're not happy or confident in the cryptos you own, get something done about it today. If you get onto copymycrypto.com, you can have a look through the site. On there, you'll see what my members have earned. You can see the successes we have had. It's all public record, by the way, so you can verify it all online. On the site, I share my entire portfolio with my members. So whenever I'm ready to buy or sell any coin, I tell my members the crypto that I'm going to buy or sell, the price I'm going to do it at. So my members can copy along exactly, so they'll make the same profit as me. They just don't have any work to do at all. And on the site, like I say, you can see what they've earned. You can see the successes we have had. You can read their testimonials. It's all public record, so verify it all after you've read it. And if you like what you see, guys, just try out the service. You literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain before these markets really start ripping. And that is it from me, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.